Sound, the fattest, funkiest tunes in town.
Speak on it, talk show.
Warning, this will contain ludicrous material. Parental discretion is advised. So kids, cover your ears and close your eyes. Otherwise, you're about to witness history. The thoughts and views expressed on this album are a direct reflection of the new generation. So without further ado, I bring to you...
Speak on it, talk show.
Why the gentleman followed him out the door, because he thought that he had took the cigars that he didn't pay for. And he told him they were on the counter. The guy who owned the store went on record to say through his attorney that he did not call the police. None of his employees called the police, that the police was called by a customer in the store. And he's really feeling some type of way because he feels like he was put in a position where the community would now turn against him, thinking that he said that this boy stole from him, and he didn't. So I just want to let you all know that Michael Brown did not steal no blunts. He paid for his blunts. So that incident had nothing to do with him being shot.
That didn't have nothing to do with him being shot either.
What I'm mad about, though, but you understand how they put out the officer's name.
Exactly, but that's
Because they held out to dig up
and that was all.
information. Wait a minute,
to make him look bad.
Listen to what she's saying. Okay, but listen to what she's saying. This information was held. So that they could dig information, so that they could find something to associate it with, so that their officer would not look like he shot this boy in cold blood. You know?
Right. Because where they saw the video at,
exactly.
They saw the video with him leaving the store and pushing the guy.
Counter
they don't
paying
start
for
the
his
video when he's at the counter.
But see, the thing is that the witness that was with him, Johnson, if I'm saying it correctly, actually did his interview with them, and within there, he mentioned Ferguson Market. Everything from when they were at Ferguson Market all the way back over to Canfield. So at that point, he had already told them about this altercation that happened at Ferguson Market. Then they dug until they went there and got that tape from that man and put it on the news to discredit Michael, right, or to give a reason why he shot this man this many times.
Even though it was said multiple times that the police was never called during that whole incident.
But then
the police officer wasn't there to arrest him because the police weren't called.
Correct.
That was the issue, right?
Correct. So when it was released at that time, when they did the first press conference, they released his name, just try to discredit this boy's name. Then they go and they wait till like 2:00 in the evening, do another news conference that states, oh yeah, these were two separate incidents. The officer that pulled him over and told him to get the F on the side of the street, he did not know anything from that. They stated that he was coming from some kind of so-called sick call, so he never knew that the boy had this altercation there at Ferguson Market. Then he goes on to say, after he finished that on the air, he waits an hour later, 3:00, and states, oh yeah, he might have seen the cigarillos in his hand. Then that's when he put two and two together that he was from Ferguson Market, which no police report was filed.
Right, but your idiot ass just
never
said
called
nobody called.
So where did he get this? Where did Ferguson get this information from? From the witness that was there that stated everything from beginning to the end.
Hey, you know what? You know what? None of this even matters. This man was overkill.
True.
True, but it doesn't matter. But what you fail to realize,
but see, this is a part of that investigation. All of these things you know, the police is trying to cover it.
Yeah, they're trying to cover it. It don't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense.
It doesn't,
no matter how you look at it.
It does.
This man, our child, whoever could have been any one of our childs out there. You understand what I'm saying? And you just overshoot this person. Come on now, you had a stun gun.
And
Yeah,
then,
wait a minute. Let me remind you of something though, Max. I feel what you're saying, but these people are looking at it from a legal standpoint. And when it's sitting in there and they sitting in front of the judge and these 12 people decide whether this man is guilty or not, these things are not going to be any part of that trial. All they're going to look into is the evidence that's presented to them.
Right.
So at this particular point, right, and at this particular point, you know, they're wasting so much time, you know, by arguing and fighting with the people in the street. They're not conducting a thorough investigation.
They even consider, I mean, they even threw in there about him smoking marijuana. What that
But wait a minute, they threw that in when he did the autopsy.
Yeah, because what did the autopsy say? It was, possibly shot 6 to 8 times and also had marijuana in his system.
Yeah, but
They didn't explain the shot. Wait a minute, they didn't even explain the shot.
What I don't understand.
No, the point is,
I have never seen nobody who smoked
pretty much.
It's superhuman.
Right, but listen to what I'm saying, Matt. They said that because the average person that's looking at this has never used drugs before, don't know that drugs have that effect on them.
I know plenty of people who smoke weed, and I'm sure everybody knows somebody that smokes weed.
Okay, that's fine, but what I'm saying
it makes you mellow. It
when
makes
you don't know.
chill.
I know plenty of people who have never tried it and don't want to try it. You know what I'm saying?
But
these people don't know the effects of marijuana. So when you say, "Oh, he was high on marijuana," they're thinking, "Oh, another bath salts incident." So they're playing with the numbers. If they can appeal to a certain group of numbers, that's more for them.
And
so
that's exactly what
for them to even put out this video saying that, he was responding to a robbery. First of all, anybody that know the police, when you respond to a robbery, one cop not going to show up.
Exactly.
Right.
They're going to assume this person is armed and dangerous.
Exactly.
So why is it just one cop this whole time in this one
Wait.
No, they stated it on. The chief of police stated that there were 2 separate incidents, and that he did not know about the incident at Ferguson. He was coming off of another call when he ran into them. Now, my thing on the weed thing is, hey, he ain't even get to smoke. He had just left Ferguson Morgan. He ain't even got to the high yet.
I'm just saying, all that.
We can't say that he was high at that time.
It's really sad.
Well, let me.
I'm so back off of the marijuana.
Yeah, let me. I want to move this a little bit to the left, just a little bit to the left for a minute, because I want to touch on this. I don't want us to run out of time before we go there. How about the prosecuting attorney? The family, the community has been asking him to recuse himself. They don't want him to try it because they don't feel that this boy will get a fair trial.
Right.
The governor is not asking him to step down. He's leaving that decision to the prosecutor, who in fact has issues because his father was killed by a black man.
91.
So we have this guy who is stepping into this trial with an agenda already at hand.
Exactly. And then to throw even more salt in the game, there was another case a year ago, and they acquitted an officer for killing someone like this. So they do not want him to try this trial. They do not want him to have this case because they feel, the community feels, and the parents feel that he is biased.
And he is biased.
And he is not stepping down. Grand jury proceedings started today.
I'm gonna just say
I think with a lot of
everything that's been going on, man. I've been watching this ever since it's been going on. So for them to even keep trying to let everything go, even the way they're going about it for them protesting. Now they protesting. Now the Ku Klux Klan came into Missouri and protested. Everything was fine.
Wait a minute. Stop. Because I heard that the KKK thing was fake. Those pictures that they've been going around,
they
those
raise
are
money
from
for
something
that
else.
officer.
Okay. But from what I understood, they was saying because they wasn't going into Ferguson. They went to from far as I heard and from what I've been seeing, they went to I think it was somewhere closer. It was like Snellville or something, Missouri or something like that. I had to look it back up. But even as far as that, now if you switch the things around and you come and talk about it, now if it was a black dude shooting a white dude, he'd have been locked up. If he was a cop or not, he would have been locked up the same day. So
this has been
book, charge, and everything.
Right. But exactly. And it's sad because
and his picture would have been on there before they even booked.
Before his exactly. And this is where I feel like I have to give props and shout out to all the media that is picking this up because they're there on the front line and they're filming everything that's going on.
I'm giving a shout out to MSNBC. MSNBC has been telling the truth.
Okay, well, a lot of the people. Let me finish my thought though. Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Go ahead, girl.
Now, the media is on site. You know, they're right there filming all of this. Now, CNN, as the headline news, all of them picked up the same thing the other night. Tear gas. All of them were running. I was running all of them consecutively. I've been on this. They were running the same thing consecutively, and they were all saying the same thing because these same media representatives were being arrested. They were being arrested for not dispersing. Several of them were arrested and were released with no paperwork done. So it is a lot going on as far as,
it's a lot of illegal stuff going on.
Yeah, but you got to think of it.
The one camera dude, he got it. They pulled him over, told him, "Oh, well, we told you to leave the area, and we still see in the area." And he's still filming, and while he getting arrested, they arrested him and everything, and he's still filming. And they just like,
why are they getting arrested? That's what I don't understand.
Well, they got off better than the ones that were getting shot with rubber bullets. I'm
gonna explain to you.
It's about power and authority. It is not about black and white. So many protesters out there. I mean, we got hate groups mixed in here. We got so many people from New York to California here. Down here protesting. I really didn't want to get into the protest too much because I'm feeling some type of way about it. But we got all of these people here, so it's not about black and white. It's about power and authority. How the police have taken their authority and now they feel like they can be judge and jury.
And I hope everybody, listening, if there are any protesters out there listening, you have a right to your assembly. That's your First Amendment right. First Amendment says Congress shall pass no law respecting and establish of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of press or of the right to people for peaceful assembly and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. These people have a right to be there. Point blank and serious. Point blank and period. The police have taken somewhat of a Gestapo tactic. They're high on that authority. They're violating these people's First Amendment rights. A lot of these people that are being arrested, they're arresting them to scare them because they're not even doing the paperwork, just to get them off the street, and then they turn around and release them. So it's like it's sad, but it's
controlling the whole situation.
But they can do whatever they want, but it's still all on camera. It's still so many people against them, and regardless of what people keep saying, but it does matter because at the end of the day, the case is going to get way bigger than what it already is. Just like every other case has been, it's already got bigger, and all of this is the same thing. They put out the information to get people upset, and everybody feeds into it. And then what does that do? That stalls the trial. It stalls the person getting arrested. It stalls all of the stuff. And it's like,
to be honest with you, lady, it was already stalled. it was already stalled. I mean, let's be real. It's already stalled. You know,
but all
they still haven't. Matter of fact, he's not
hindering what we're trying to accomplish.
Right, because this guy is already he's not even in the area. From what I'm understanding, he hasn't been arrested. He's out of the state.
Right. He gone.
Now they have another case out of Riverview. A 23-year-old man shot down and killed yesterday. He had a knife, and 2 officers both shot 6 rounds out. I don't know how many hit him, you know what I'm saying, because there's no autopsies or anything like that. This was the St. Louis Police Department that did this, because at this point they're out of North County and they're in the city. This goes back to power and authority. Now, my son was seeing it on the news. There was a witness there, and they asked, why didn't you tase him? And the officer stated that, are you from here? And the person was from out of town. He said, this is how we do it in St. Louis. So
that's saying, screw the law, screw the rules. This is how we do things here. It doesn't matter.
Now the tape was released today. A tape was released today of that incident. The total incident down to them shooting him, which, you know, they blurred that out where we didn't see it because it was so blurry, and they're not gonna show anyone getting actually murdered on screen, you know. And at that time, watching that video, you can tell that this child this man was mentally challenged. You can tell from when he was in the store and what he took whatever out of the store, then he was outside of the store pacing back and forth.
Is this the same guy that had the headphones on?
Yeah, going back and forth. He walking back and forth, and then he turns, and when the police finally make it there, he's standing there, and I didn't really see if he launched towards the police, because at that time that's when they blurred it out. But then he's yelling, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me, and they shot him. And they shot 6 rounds apiece. That's 20. Okay, who comes to it?
Asked for it, though.
He asked for it.
Really? He asked for it.
Really?
He said, shoot me, shoot me.
Really?
I'm not trying to make light of the situation.
But regardless,
people are kind of crazy nowadays.
And that is all the reason why it have been handled differently.
You could tell from the video, maybe they didn't know, but that's the protocol. He could have shot him in the leg. He could have did something, tased him. They could have did something else than shooting 12 rounds at that man. Okay, go ahead. No, let that say it. Speak on it.
Wait. I want to say something that nobody really saying. Cops are human. They are human beings.
Okay, that don't give it a...
So what? You took
I never said
But I mean, if you have a bad day, that don't mean you take it out on the next person. I feel like if you had that bad of a day, you need to call off.
Go ask to work. And
you need to take PTO.
I'm not going to say this. I'm going to say this to you. Because you playing devil's advocate now. And I'm gonna need to fold you up right quick and put you in my back pocket. Because you playing devil's advocate. The fact of the matter is this. No, police
most of these cops don't even need to be cops.
Wait a minute. Police officers are trained. They have to go to the academy. They're trained to do things by specific protocol. For 5 to 10 years now, police have been trained by the military. So there's military tactics in their training. This I don't understand, because what is the purpose of training civilian cops how to function military-wise when they're dealing with civilians? That's to me, it's totally retarded. But they are trained to handle it in a specific manner. Now, if there is no immediate threat and that man is not in your personal space, you're supposed to tase him, pepper gas him. He didn't have a gun, he had a knife. A knife requires for a person to get into your personal space in order to use it. A gun can be shot from a distance. So if he had a gun, you lay his ass down. But he had a knife, which meant he would have had to come to you. You had enough space to tase him. And you killed him. So it's no black and white. I keep telling you, I'm not going to dance this black and white gray area with y'all. It's right or wrong. It is or it ain't, and it's no middle point. The fuck your bad day, excuse my friend. I don't care. If you had a bad day, you should have called down and want your ass to work. Because people's lives people's lives are based on how you react. You are put in a position where you're supposed to protect us. So fuck your bad day, because I'm not about to die because you didn't feel like coming to work today. That's bullshit. You did say, you said he could have had a bad day.
We're talking like they supposed. I didn't say he could have had a bad day. I never said that.
Okay.
I said they are human. They're human. Maybe they're trained. See, they're trained to do what they're supposed to do. But
okay.
Most humans have
emotions.
And they're trained to take a step back.
That's why.
I think they.
But that is why
they
not just anybody can go and be a police officer. You have to pass a test. You have to be trained. So you saying they're human doesn't mean nothing to me, because they are trained to do things a certain way. When you step outside of protocol, you're wrong.
Yeah, I ain't never said it was right.
Well, that's why they need to do their psychological.
The guy that killed you.
I'm not speaking. Listen, I don't like police. I never did. I've been harassed all my life by police. What I'm saying is the training that they're receiving now.
Yeah, because they're being trained up. They're not being. But that's what I'm saying.
I remember when police used to come in the neighborhood and talk to the kids and actually do things with the kids, like the PAL program and stuff like that. They used to actually interact.
Right, but at the same time,
you know, all this has happened, and we're going through stuff day by day, taking it day by day, and us as citizens, we say enough is enough. So what we need to think about and keep focused on is what needs to happen, what should be done, and where do the trust.
But Mac, that's what they're doing. They're
but
asking.
I haven't asked these questions, but I haven't heard nothing on these questions.
What do you mean? The people have asked. Oh, you mean the people are asking and they're not responding?
They're not responding.
Okay.
They have. Excuse me. They have asked.
The only question that they answered was in regards to the prosecutor. They are not going to recuse him. If he wants to step down, that's his choice. But they're not going to recuse him from trying this.
But he was getting to that. Oh, he wants to step back. He was right to step back.
All I'm gonna say, if this dude, they let him off, it's gonna cause a ruckus.
Oh. I know, right?
But anyway, that's what I'm saying.
Anyway, I'm 10 minutes away. I heard helicopters all night long when this is going on. But while we got a little pause here, I want to welcome NYC to the call. Polka Hotness.
Hey, sissy.
Hey, sissy.
Polka Hotness. No.
Yes.
No.
We hear you.
No, we ain't got Polka Hotness on the line.
Speak on it, sister.
Oh, I'm glad she's been added to the show. But guess what? We got to speak on. Hold on. Before we can go any further, we got to speak on the commercial, because we've been talking about this for a couple minutes. So we got to take a break. And we be coming back with the next topic that we can talk on. And we got to get to the questions that be coming into the audience. We got we have a lot going on. So we stick the conversation there. So make sure y'all tune in every Wednesday.
Got the time.
We'll speak on it.
Right.
Eastern.
At 6 at
9 for Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
That way you can just go from there. We'll use Eastern Standard.
Oh, it's 10 for me.
Yes.
Don't nobody care about that.
It's 6 o'clock on Wednesday.
We'll be right back right after this.
Not really. Act like I'm